Hey folks, this is, for me, it's the fourth video covering this upgrade to my 68 custom Princeton Reverb with the Fromel or Fromel electronic, upgrades to the board, PC board. This is really amounts to just my final thoughts before I hopefully can put these four together into one video. If not, it'll be four separate ones and connected together in a whatever you call it, series of videos on YouTube. Anyway, I would just like to say that after what was my third video, where I was actually playing through the amp and giving some basic thoughts on it. Now those were my initial, I had just fired it up and strummed it a few times before I turned the video on, but I'd like to say that I took the amp upstairs after that video to my living room, which is where that amp lives 95% of the time. And I sat there and I literally played that amplifier for like 3 hours. Well, my guitar through that amplifier. For like 3 solid hours. I watched almost a 2-hour movie and episode of something forgettable. And had dinner, and then I played it some more. And I'd like to say that, whenever I do something to one of my amplifiers, like put in a better speaker, or if I do something to the electronics, or, sometimes I'll build a new speaker cabinet, whatever. I'll try something, upgrade. And when I first do it, of course, there's the, that first initial, oh, it's brand new, that novelty period. And, and then it kind of wears off and it's like, okay, well, that's just my amp. It sounds good. I like it. That's my baby. You kind of stop hearing the improvement because now that's the new standard. So I sat there playing that thing the entire time, and then after dinner played it some more. And I played it low, I played it medium, I played it loud a few times, not enough to get my wife to go, oh, hey. But I played it plenty. And I kept knowing that, the novelty wears off after a short time. I kept waiting for that to happen, and it's not happening. It's not wearing off. Because this amp sounds so drastically different from what it sounded like before the upgrade. Now, what can I say? Now, it's not like it changed it to a different amp. It's not that it made it, it still sounds like a Princeton Reverb. But the sound coming out of the speaker is so, the only word I can think of to describe it is so organic. It sounds like what I imagine a $5,000 amplifier would sound like. Somebody that really, that builds specialty amplifiers and really dials in the tone. And when you get it, you've got something special. That's what this thing sounds like. And if you did this update without the Celestian Gold or some other speaker, and without the Mercury Magnetics, I don't know how far over towards what I've got now it would get. I know it'd be a vast improvement because this is probably the biggest, most overly noticeable improvement that has taken place with the amplifier. So I keep looking over here like I'm looking at the amp. I'm plugged into my AC-15 right now, but I guess it's the act of looking at an amplifier while I talk about an amplifier. Anyway, Now, as far as I think that even if you didn't have these updates, now that Celestion 1030, I'm not saying that's a bad speaker. I'm saying that is not the right speaker for the Princeton. It's just not. It doesn't have the guts to handle what the amp's putting out, because it's a bit on the bassy side. When I first got this thing, I really had to turn the bass down pretty low to keep it from keep the speaker from what they call flubbing out. And that's just where the speaker gets so overpowered that it just, the speaker, when a speaker's working, especially when you turn it up and it's in its working mode, the speaker, it's flexing and it's doing all this shit. That's what gives it, that's why changing the material of the paper, or the cone, more accurately, and stuff like that, the windings on the inducer and stuff like that. Well, it's why each one has a different character to it, and but when you exceed what the capacity of the speaker, well, the inducer starts, it's moving around like this as it's going back and forth, and it starts hitting the magnet and stuff like that, and creating these. It's out of control. You're overdriving the speaker past its usable range. So I would say, if you're going to do something with this, the first thing I would say is get a better speaker. And I'm not saying the Celestion Gold is the way to go. I'm saying that that's the way I went, and I frickin' love it. But either way, this Fromel update kit, dude, I think it is the way to go. If you really want a bitchin' amplifier, something that really turns up the juice and gives you something that you can go, wow, this is the kit. Okay, I'm sure there are other companies out there putting out stuff. I read their ad copy and I was like, hey man, I can put that in. I got it. So I did. Even if you have to buy the kit, I think I paid $80 for it. I think that was delivered. Even if you had to pay somebody, I don't know what somebody would charge, probably $150, $200. I assume, I don't know. I wouldn't do it for a penny under $100. And in fact, I don't even think I'd do it that low. I'd probably charge at least $150 to put that kit in. Because, once I put it in, I got to stand behind my work and everything else, which, I don't have a problem doing, but anyway. But either way, I don't think you're going wrong, because this kit makes that big of a difference. Now, I'm talking about, doing upgrades and the, getting past the, the novelty of it all wearing off. Hey man, I spent money, therefore it must be better. Oh, now I can't really hear it anymore, kind of thing, which is normal. I came in this morning, and of course I had to play kind of low because my wife's still asleep, and I'm not trying to rattle the house anyway. And I turned it on, and it was the exact same things last night. I just like going, wow, that sounds so freaking cool. Every note is just articulated. It has a flavor to the sound that the only word I can really think of is vintage sound. And I know that term is so overused, and a lot of people use it, and they're not using the word right. They just think anything that doesn't sound crispy clean. Does that even make sense? Crisp and clean is, oh, well, that's vintage. It just has such a very nice, quality sounding, detailed note, tone stuff coming out of the speaker. So it has a lot of body. The sound coming out of the speaker is thick. Now this is my AC-15, and I'm playing through my PRS right now. Now, that sound isn't quite as thick as what comes out of the other amplifier, but for rocking out and getting down, this is my amplifier. I'm not planning to get buried, I'm planning to get cremated, so I'm going to have this thing cremated with me. And I may have the Princeton cremated with me too, because I don't want any of you fags out there using my amplifier. Just playing. Anyway, no, I want somebody to enjoy this when I'm gone. But anyway, my point is, dude, get down. Now this one sounds, this has got a great sound. And I love the drive of this one. I hardly even play this on the normal channel. I bought this for the top boost, period. I put it on the other channel, and it does have a nice grit to it when you turn it up. But I like that. I bought this for the top boost. That Princeton, I bought that for playing clean, and I have to say it's a little gritty. It was a little gritty straight out of the factory when you turn it up, because the speaker would flub out, as they call it. But now, whew, wow. These two amplifiers, I could get rid of everything and just keep these two, and I'd be good. I'm covered for anything that I want to do. Of course, you know, there's the old evil twin back there. That's the monster. That's if I ever play a stadium. Anyway, I'll cut it short at there. Well, short at 12 minutes. Anyway, I hope this helps you. I hope that if you're teetering on whether you should get this kit, I want to say yeah. I mean, if you really want to take your amp to the next level, I would say yeah. This is the amp, because this is, dude, I love it. I love it so much. I don't know why, but there's a part of me in the back goes, I hope it doesn't break. That's like, right, because I couldn't get another one. Couldn't fix this one or get another amp or something like that. But of course, I paid like just under $800 for that one delivered, and now they're like $1,100 for that same amplifier. So it's like, fuck, dude. Bing. Anyway, let's see. I was thinking with this. The last thing I'll say is with this one. With this upgrade, I think I have 8,000. I guess this puts me around $1,600 just in purchasing stuff for the amp. It might even be $1,700. I don't know the exact figure. Plus the labor of installing stuff like this kit, the Mercury Magnetics. I mean, you can't really say, oh, well, it took me 3 hours to put in the speaker. It doesn't. And of course, I've got that beam blocker from Ted Turner site in there. So anyway, if you're thinking about it, I'd say go. Get it. Trust me on this. It's pretty fucking righteous. So anyway, thanks. If you stuck with me to the end, appreciate it. If you appreciate these videos, giving you some insight into what's up, I don't do PayPal or Patreon and all that crap. Just go to my website. Go to wickedoil.com and get some oil for your car, your truck, your motorcycle, your lawn equipment, everything, man. Chainsaw, everything. Trust me on this. It's the stuff. Have a great one. Bye.